What up, it's your boy Dvrth back at it again with another video, and today we are here with Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, episode 26. Last episode, we got into a fight with Envy, or what looks like what Envy's true form is, and more importantly than all that, as much as that was like crazy, more importantly than all that, Alphonse has, I don't want to say tricked, but kind of persuaded Gluttony to take him to Father, who apparently lives in Central and is also probably Hohenheim. So this is gonna be a bit of a trip, because if I once again I said in the other video before that I'm pretty sure Hohenheim is Father. That's probably like an aspect of the show I'm like overthinking, but like if Hohenheim is Father, this is gonna be a fucking trip for Alphonse. So we're gonna hop straight into it. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, all the other stuff. If you're just a lurker, I appreciate you too. If you have any requests, whether it be more Fullmetal Alchemist or something totally different, the best place to send that in is always my social media. Link's gonna be in the description. And if you want these episodes early, you can subscribe to my Patreon. So with all that out the way, let's get our headphones, make sure they're on, them bitches is on, and let's just get into it. Does that even do anything? Oh, okay, it hurts. The beast bleeds. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. The beast does bleed, though. The beast does bleed. Oh my god.
Help me die. I beg you. Please kill me. Please.
What, bro?
Listen to me. Those things are monsters.
You can't help them, even if those are real people, you cannot help them. I highly doubt it.
Stop it.
Oh. Oh, hey, hold up.
I'm sorry.
Is that not the missing piece to the... Ew, what the fuck?
That creep.
Alphonse is a good guy. Oh, wow. How lucky is that?
Hold it.
Yo, hold up, man. 'Cause that's big dog right there.
That one.
I feel there was something wrong with this country since I got here.
I mean,
This place, it's the source of it.
the head... Oh, God, yeah. The head honcho definitely in there. Yes, that's the missing... That's the missing piece.
Open up, Envy. Your breath is killing me.
That's the missing piece.
Find a way to get us out of here.
Bitch ass nigga. Pussy. Punk.
Oh, his chimeras.
Okay, so they are chimera. Pussy, I know what time it is. Oh, goddamn. Jesus. Oh my god. They're a good team. I'll give them that much.
Brother can make anything. He made all of us, he did. He made
Okay.
pain and lust, and he made envy.
Okay. But why? Can you answer that? It doesn't matter. Your father can answer that. Our father can answer that, maybe.
In fact, I don't even remember my own name.
Jesus.
For all I know, I might have been abandoned or sold before I even had one.
Now,
Huh.
which one of you will be the one to step forward and lead this country?
Really?
How about you?
They called us prospective Führers. They trained us to be leaders.
Prospective
They
Führers.
kept us humanities, as well as martial arts.
What?
And of course, swordsmanship.
They were manufacturing Führers? Holy Oh! What?
The Philosopher's Stone is created from the light
force of countless human beings and contains their souls.
What?
Once injected into the bloodstream, it begins to take over its new host, and the human body tries to reject it.
Whoa!
Repeatedly destroyed from the inside out.
Oh my
and
God!
by the stone.
You lived your life before as a human being. Why choose to be a homunculus?
He was a kid.
Isn't there some way you could go back to being a human?
Highly doubt it.
You suggest I become human again? Ridiculous.
Right.
Why
That's
would
almost
possibly
demoting
one
yourself.
pursue such frivolity?
Right. To him, that's demoting
So
yourself.
far superior.
Right.
Just as you humans
Damn.
take great pride in.
Stuff. It's all from Xerxes?
That's right.
Yeah.
They're pieces of a large mural from what remains of their temple.
Right.
When I saw the ruins of the mural up close, I thought it was identical to the transmutation circle from the fifth laboratory.
Right. So
Used
this.
to create philosopher's stones.
So this is maybe not the answer, but the
The
key.
sun represents the soul, while the moon symbolizes the mind.
Okay.
And then there's the stone canvas of the mural. This represents the body. Can't transmute a life form from a soul that no longer exists in this world.
Right.
You can trust me on that one.
So what do you bring in? That's the biggest question. What do you bring in?
Out of here. I can't transmute the dead. But what would happen if I transmute myself?
You mean a living person?
Exactly.
Hey yo.
Transmutation circle to deconstruct myself. The two-headed dragon. The alchemic symbol for a complete life form.
Okay.
Which means this basically translates to I will strike God to earth and become a perfect being.
That's
What?
certainly an arrogant concept.
Right?
It's not a big deal to talk about it, but then there's this. This piece takes it to the next level. That correct, Envy?
Very true.
That's right.
How could a nation as advanced as Xerxes fall, let alone in a single night?
Bro, did you do that
What
too?
happened to its citizens? These
I
stone
swear to
fragments of
God.
the mural. You put them here to hide the evidence.
You dirty bitch.
Killed them.
Oh my.
Sacrificed all of Xerxes.
You gotta
Turned them into a
die.
philosopher's stone.
You gotta die for real.
Tell me, Envy.
Powerful enough to surpass
He's
God.
used the homunculite
Why?
to create the destruction of Xerxes here in Amestris, hasn't he?
You get us out of
Like
here,
that.
I'll gladly tell you
That's the
everything.
weirdest thing. You surpass God. Now what?
Beating around the bush. I'm tired of waiting for you to ask.
All right.
The envy has to die.
This might not work out for
The
you.
amount of fuckery that envy has
About these guys'
created for the world, envy has to die.
Concerned about Amestris, it's not my country.
All right, let's get it.
That pose he makes when he transmutes, I knew it reminded me of something.
Which is what?
He almost looks like he's praying.
Interesting. Hold up, nigga, because that's an interesting kind of concept. Wait a minute. I'm kind of mad that you said that.
Too bad this
I'm
is
kind of mad you said that because now that's going to turn into an hour-long conversation.
jump in it.
Fuck, dude. Oh my god. Fucked up, bro. That's so fucked. So fucked. I wonder if you'll see something else. Let's see it. Oh shit, we're back here. No fucking way. What do we lose now? Oh god.
I can't. I can only leave with my own soul. I'm sorry I can't go with you.
Oh, we were so close. We were so close. Damn it. Ah. Adomna? Oh shit.
Alphonse! Look at me!
I promise. Someday soon, I'm coming back for you. Just you wait.
Wait for me!
Oh my god. Bro. This show is so fucking interesting. This show is so fucking interesting. Like I dear God, depending how this shit ends, might solidify this show as like one of the best shows I've ever watched in my life. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. Oh my God. We were so fucking close. Holy fuck. Wow. Hold up, bro. Hold up, bro. Oh my God. There was so much shit to talk about. And I don't want this video to become like a fucking 2-hour video because of everything that happened here. I'm trying my best to like cut down my videos a little bit because they're pretty long. But damn. Oh my. Oh my fucking God. I mean, when I tell you that there is a bunch of shit to get into when it comes to this show. And oh, so much shit to get into when it comes to this show. I'm telling you, I just this show is so good. Like the questions and theories and I guess you could say like philosophies that are posed in this show are very, very grand. Like there's a lot of shows that pose a lot of grand philosophies, and that's usually like selling points for a lot of shows, like people having very grand scale stories, like, oh yeah, we're talking about the beginning of the universe and all this other shit, and like people and the sociology of humans, stuff like that, right? But don't really like have the build for it. I feel like a lot of people understand what I'm talking about, like shows that very much get into very heavy philosophical topics but don't have the build for the topic that they're trying to talk about. There have been some shows that have actually I guess you could say successfully got into these topics. One of my favorites being Attack on Titan that successfully like touched on these topics and like really expanding. It seems like they're about to get a decent ending to the understanding of those topics and you know, stuff like that. Other shows that do the same thing. But then there are some, well, not just some, but a lot of shows dive into these topics and knowing full well they do not have, they're not that guy. Like, you're just not that guy, right? But this show, this is a very rare case of me watching a show and going, this show might just give me a sufficient answer. And that doesn't mean like an actual answer, like, oh yeah, this is the meaning of life, and here it is. You know, like, I'm not expecting an actual answer, but a sufficient answer for me to walk off this show and be like, yeah, that was a good answer. I gotta think on that one because that was a good answer. Damn. So first of all, what we really gotta talk about, like, first and foremost, is envy. Envy gotta die. Like, and that's just what I gotta talk about. First of all, when it comes to like the actual show, because like I want to get into like the philosophical stuff. But you know, if I start by getting into the philosophical stuff, we'll never get into like that what actually happened in the show. First of all, envy has to die. I think that's something that we automatically came to the conclusion about when he killed what's his name, Hughes. When they killed Hughes, that was obvious. We had to kill envy. it was like, yo, you have to die. But the longer Envy lives and the more Envy talks about their escapades, I guess you can call, Envy has started so much shit. It is actually insane. Envy is the fucking devil. Envy is quite literally the devil. Envy has started so much shit. She started the war between Amestria and what is Scar's people called? She started the war between Amestria and Scar's people. She killed Hughes. I don't know. Envy technically doesn't even have a fucking gender. That's the whole point of Envy. They killed Hughes. They started the war between Amestria and the Scar's people. Pretty much killed the Rock Bells. Killed what's his name? What's his name? I don't remember. Killed Amestria, started the war, killed Hughes, killed the Rock Bells. Oh! Killed all of Xerxes. Like, it's got to the point to where, like, if some real shit were to happen, if like some information were to get out where we were like, oh yeah, bro, you know, there's this other place where like everybody died and like niggas was killing each other, and, you know, they were violating the women and, you know, killing the children, you know, it was wild. I would automatically go, Envy had something to do with that. Envy is quite literally the devil. Envy in this show is what the devil is to Christians, where like bad shit happens and they're like, it's gotta be the devil. It's gotta be the devil. Envy is that. Envy is the embodiment of that. Is the personification of that like thought process, because they start everything. Envy might be the biggest instigator in anime history. In fact, I will go out on a limb and say that Envy is the biggest instigator in anime history. I have never seen a character that starts more shit than Envy. Like, Envy, like, fuck Mark Phillips. Envy is the instigator champion of the world. Like, it's ridiculous. I do like that we kind of have to work together with Envy, because as much shit that I just talked about Envy has some really decent insight on how people work. When she was talking about they were talking about Dr. Marco, my man Dr. Marco, you know, they gave pretty good insight on how weak-minded humans are. And here's the worst part about it. As much as I hate Envy, they're right. Envy is absolutely right. There is not much wrong with what Envy is saying. It's that Envy takes that knowledge and they use it to start more fuckery, furthering their agenda and their philosophy. So it's not that Envy is actively trying to better humans as they think that humans are like useless, evil beings that will constantly kill, murder, you know, violate and everything else each other, like just make the world a worse place to live in. But Envy goes the extra mile in furthering the idea that they do all that. Envy's like, fuck it. If this is what y'all gonna do, I'm gonna continue to make it to where you just keep doing worse things. Envy is literally perpetuating the negative philosophy that she has on this race. What the fuck was that? That scared the fuck out of me. I ain't even about to lie. I don't know what that was, but that scared the fuck out of me. Okay, whatever. Envy is constantly perpetuating the philosophy that she has on this race. Now, granted, I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't agree with Envy's like theory, Envy's philosophy on the race. I don't disagree. I don't disagree with it. Envy's right. But damn, what makes you evil is when you take that philosophy and go, yeah, I'm going to keep on making sure that y'all do this too. Like, if y'all want to kill yourselves, I'm going to further that. I'm going to make sure you do it quicker. Like, that's when you become evil. So yeah, fuck Envy. Fuck Envy. I hate it. All my homies hate Envy. All of my homies hate Envy. Now, while talking about Envy and, you know, evil people and shit like that, Bradley. So Bradley was a human. I think we've pretty much like that was a given. Bradley was a human, but Bradley was a part of an experiment, or not even an experiment. This seems to be like a tried and true thing where, like, yes, it was an experiment, but it was also like a thing where it's like, no, this is gonna work out eventually. Like, this is just the way we're gonna do things. But for lack of a better term, we'll call it an experiment. Bradley was a part of an experiment in which they were manufacturing Führers, which seems to be a good idea when you look at it from Father's perspective. Very good, like, very good idea. If you want to further your agenda of becoming a god, which we will talk about a little bit on that as well. If you want to further your agenda of becoming a god, you would want the extension of all your political and pretty much the extension of your political appendages to be as powerful as possible. So when you create Bradley, yeah, like it's a really good idea to create a powerful homunculi who can one, run the country, and two, serve as a right hand man in a way. Or maybe more accurately, one of the fingers of your hand, you know. So I feel for Bradley in a way. I feel for Bradley because his thought process, his life is pretty much that he doesn't know if he's the real one. But here's the thing: Bradley doesn't care. Bradley doesn't care. Bradley has ascended. Bradley has taken the power to the point of ascending past caring about whether he is the original him or not. It doesn't matter. Bradley has power. What Bradley is right now is far superior from being a human. Now, granted, Bradley sees that as a upgrade. I don't exactly see it as an upgrade because here's the thing: there is no, and this gets into a very philosophical discussion that we just won't have, because we still got to talk about some other stuff that happened or that was mentioned in the episode where, yeah, if we get into this video would be well over an hour, like almost 2 hours probably. But here's the thing: when you transcend being human, that is a downgrade in itself. Like, once you change yourself or upgrade yourself from being a human, because transcending is something totally different. When you upgrade from being a human, when you change yourself from being a human to a stronger being that Bradley is, a homunculus, you give up that power. You have manufactured a cap for yourself. There is a cap on how strong you can get once you leave behind your humanity. So while Bradley sees himself as like stronger than a normal human, which he is, that does not mean that Bradley is going to be or is the strongest. And the wildest thing about it is that Bradley's boss is the answer to that. What I'm guessing Father is human. I'm going to say that Father is human. If we're going by like him being Hohenheim, and I'm guessing he is Hohenheim, I'm almost 100%, I'll say 99.9% sure he's Hohenheim, which once again, I'm pretty sure this is something that I'm supposed to already know, or supposed to have already like figured out, but I'm just like skeptical on it. If Father is Hohenheim, he's human. A human that is transcending to be a god. And once again, we'll talk about that, because that, to me, that makes no sense. But Hohenheim is a human transcending to godhood. Bradley can't do that. Now, like, he has quite literally manufactured a cap for himself. So Bradley can't do that. Once you leave being human, once you throw away your humanity, you cannot progress much, if at all. And this is a philosophy that is talked about in a lot of anime, which one of my favorite anime that's talked about is Gurren Lagann. That show is completely about being human and how you transcend from being human to a literal god. Like, Gurren Lagann is one. I won't go into that tangent either, but just know that if you want to know more about that thought process, that discussion, that philosophy, watch Gurren Lagann if you haven't. Like, that just shows you the base form being a human is the strongest thing that you could ever be. It just is. So when Bradley says that he is something superior, he's completely wrong. He is something stronger for now. Like, he is something stronger for now. Yes, you are stronger than Joe Schmo, but Bradley is basically that one guy on Xbox Live that is stronger than, that's like better at the game than all of his friends and all of the people that he plays in like the random lobbies. He's like, yeah, I'm the best because like I'm better than my friends. But Bradley, do you not understand that there are people out there that are way better than you simply because they are continuing to drive themselves to be like, I think Bradley can't see the forest for the trees right now, as much as he thinks that he does. But all that aside, it's just interesting to see that Bradley did start off as human. But through means of Father and stuff like that, he somewhat got himself like capped. Like, now he has a ceiling. And once again, when it comes to like this discussion portion, like philosophical stuff, like, I could totally be wrong, but this is just what I'm seeing right now. Bradley gave himself a ceiling. So also, since Bradley started off human, and now he's a homunculus, and you know the whole like him not being able to have kids thing, okay, blah blah blah, kind of feeds more into the whole thought process of Celine being a homunculus as well. Once again, we won't get into that because that would be way too long. Okay, so now we've talked about all that. We also got very close towards the end there to getting Alphonse's body back. It's actually insane how close we were. Now that we know that Alphonse's body is there, his body seemed pretty weak. It seemed to actually be aging. Where like you see his hair, it got longer. His body's a little bit more gaunt. Looks way weaker than even his form of being a little kid. It aged. Like, his body is in there, but like what I'm saying is that his body's in there, but it is aging. It is I don't want to say it's deteriorating, but it's aging. It's not held in some kind of stasis in which like he is unaffected by everything. He's unaffected by earthly elements, so his body can't get sick or like, you know, any of that stuff. But his body does and probably will succumb to like humanly, or you know, humanly elements, I guess you can say. Won't succumb to earthly elements like sickness and like all this other stuff, but it's still a body. It's going to age and all this other stuff. Like there's a time limit on it. So even the fact that we got that close is insane to me. But it's good to see that it's there. We have confirmation that it's there. He did say, however, that it has to be his soul to come get it, to come get his body. However, since we got this close to once again opening up the door and getting to his body, it feels like we're a stone's throw away from Alphonse actually going out there and getting his body. Now, granted, like we still have to go through the whole like making another portal thing, and it would still be incomplete. And we only got through there because like we used like the souls of the people and blah blah blah. You know, all that crazy shit. So it won't work out as well as it did in Gluttony's stomach, as it did for us. Then like Alphonse recreating the same thing and doing it again. Because another thing is that once we get out of here, like I don't think Envy's going to help again. Envy did say that she would give, or because I actually don't know what Envy is, and I think that's the point of Envy's character. But Envy did say that once they get out, they'll give us they'll give us information, I'll say. However, outside of that, Envy's not helping again. So that was a once in a lifetime trump card. So it'll be a little bit harder for Al to do this, but we know that it's possible, and we know that once we get to the other side, we will actually find the body. So that's pretty exciting. That's pretty exciting. However, now we are actually getting a kind of reunion with who I'm guessing is Hohenheim, Al, and also probably everybody else, because I'm guessing they're gonna come out of Gluttony's portal unless they show up somewhere else, maybe, but they're still gonna come out of Gluttony's portal. Now, here is the philosophical part of the episode, or the video, in which I'm kind of mad because I'm looking at how long we've been recording, and fuck, it's already almost been an hour, and I know this part's gonna be. I'm gonna try to cut down to make this part concise, but Jesus, there is a point, there is a line in this episode that I heard and I was like, yo, what the fuck did you just say? Because it's something that even I didn't notice up until Ling said it. Like, and I'm baffled that I didn't notice, because we've talked about it so much. That's one thing that this show does really well, is that it hides elements in the show in plain sight, and you'll look at it and you'll be like, oh wow, yeah, that's something, until somebody says something about it and you're like, that's something. And it's the fact that Ling says, Ling doesn't know anything about alchemy. Ling isn't an alchemist. However, Ling saw him use alchemy, or saw Edward use alchemy, and when he said that it looked familiar, I'm thinking, oh, maybe Ling knew or maybe Ling's thinking about how alchemy is used in their country, and something like he's seen somebody do it like that, blah blah. I'm like, okay, maybe that's what he's gonna talk about. But Ling says when he does that pose, it looks like he's praying. That shit is insane to me. And here's why. Because if it looks like he's praying, just where do I even start with this? This is one of those in the beginning kind of situations where there is nowhere to. This is a how do you eat an elephant kind of question. One bite at a time, right? So here's the thing. When you look at it, it does look like he's praying. That is exactly what that looks like. However, the show and Edward have made it a very, very specific thing. They've made a specific point to say that they are scientists. They exist in the middle, but they're mostly scientists. However, they exist in the middle. They exist in the middle of science and like spirituality or magic, however you want to look at it. Here's the thing. Me personally, I am not a very religious man. I like to get personal a little bit. I was raised in the church. I've read the Bible front to back a good amount of time, as many times as I could handle. So while I'm decently versed in religion, I'm not a religious man. So my thought process when it comes to religion and the creation of the world and things like that is not that it's the whole like God created the world and then he made the trees and then he had Adam and like name all the animals and all this stuff. And it's not so much of a there was a big bang and then atoms like became other whatever. And then there's atoms that created other atoms, blah blah blah. Like I'm not going to get into that, but that it's not those two. My beliefs are somewhere in the middle. They're somewhere in the middle. My beliefs have always been is that the magical or mystical or spiritual aspect of things when it comes to creation are the same as the scientific and logical things that when it comes to creation. My thought process has always been that there is a middle ground in which both sides took what they believed, whether it was illogical or logical, and created their own like little. That's what their stories on. That's how it happened. Now, once again, one may make more sense because one is more earthly. The whole like Big Bang, all that other stuff, and then one doesn't make as much sense because one is like, no, there's a being that we have never met, never talked to, blah blah blah, that existed forever ago that created all this, and we have no proof of it, but just know that it happened. Yeah, there's those two sides, but then there is this that happened in the show where these guys are specifically playing God. However, they are playing God in a scientific way that looks a little spiritual. So when Ling says that what he is doing looks like praying, that's one of those connective tissues between each side that I've always thought about. What he's doing looks like praying. However, what he is doing is very scientific. There's a hint of mysticism to it because it's like lightning coming out of his hands and like there's like fucking I don't know, there's like things becoming like rocks becoming diamonds and all this other shit, like there's transmutation and stuff. So there's mysticism to it, but it's still in that gray area of like saying, but wait, this is exactly how it may have happened. So when he says that it looks like he's praying, I'm thinking, okay, if I were a spiritual man, I'd look at that as saying, oh shit, he's praying and God is permitting him to like create something that no man should be able to create, but with the power of God, he's doing it. Oh my God, that's crazy. And if I were a scientific man, I'd look at it and go, so he's using alchemy to create a portal from the atoms in the, you know, all that scientific stuff that I am not smart enough to fully comprehend, and all that spiritual stuff that I am not fully versed in religion to comprehend either. But there is that middle ground of them saying if he is praying, or if it looks like he's praying, that goes very hand in hand with what Hohenheim, or Father, is trying to do. Father is trying to become a god. He is trying to transcend himself into becoming a god. However, if he does it through the means of alchemy, he is no less of a god than the actual god that a lot of people worship. Because it still circles back around to creation and destruction, all the other stuff. So if it looks like he's praying, I guess the point I'm trying to make is that if it looks like he's praying, we're kind of like that much closer to an actual answer. And that's what got me so excited, is that they seamlessly put in a gray area in which makes sense for both sides. It makes sense for both sides. The scientific and the spiritual. Like it completely, you could say either one. You could be like, yo, no, he's praying to God. Okay, cool. Oh no, he's doing this scientific-ish kind of thing where, you know, he's taking two things, creating one, a portal, blah blah blah, whatever. So now I'm thinking, because we've always talked about how alchemy is humans playing God. So now I'm thinking, if this human can pray and do something godlike, it lends credence to somebody wanting to become God. And on the other hand, if this person can use alchemy to create something ethereal like a portal to the truth, this lends credence to science being something that can be used to create a god. So this episode actually brought us a little bit closer to Father's like overall thought, like his overall philosophy, and I guess dreams and aspirations, I guess you could call them. Because if he can do that, it's just interesting that he looked at it and he saw it as praying instead of like, oh, he's using alchemy. No, he saw it as like prayer, in which I'm sure he himself, like Ling himself, was like, oh, he's using alchemy, but he did say it looks like he's praying. And this is where in the philosophy it gets a little bit too big for my britches, because it's like now we're getting into some shit that is like, once again, some in the beginning type shit where it's like I can't answer that. I can't, which once again makes me really excited for where this story is going, because I can't answer that. Like, I don't know what that means. I don't know what I just don't know. I don't know. I have no clue what that means. Like, I genuinely have no clue what that means. All I know is that since they made that connection, I can now look at it in a completely different light. This makes me look at alchemy in a completely different light, that I guess gives me a lot of information or a lot of context for what Father is doing and how he's doing it. Now, granted, once again, like I said, you become God. Now what? That's an aspiration that I, as a human, can't really understand. I mean, I can understand wanting to become a god, like who doesn't? But I, as a human, don't know what I would do if I were given the powers of God. I don't know what to do outside of like the usual things. Oh, world peace, all this other stuff. But is that really what Father's plan is? Because yeah, it could be, like we talked about this before, it could be something so simple as he just wants to create world peace, or he wants world domination. But really, are we sure? Are we sure? Which brings me back to what I said. You're a god now. Now what? What do you do? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. Like, I could tell you what a human would do. I could tell you what I would do. But this guy's, his aspirations seem so grand that's like, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. Somebody that has a true plan for being a god, I couldn't tell you. Like, once again, I could tell you what I do. Like, I could, and it may go into some pretty like ethereal and complex plans. Yeah, sure. But you'd still be getting a human's perspective on being a god. Like, I'm not so arrogant to say that, yeah, man, I know exactly what to do if I were a god. Like, I know it would definitely work out. But not really. I don't know. Like, I just don't know. Which is why I'm so excited. I'm just so excited for this show and where it goes with this philosophy, because damn, this show is getting really fucking big for its britches. And that, like, on the last note, because this video already over an hour, goddamn, or at least the full length already over an hour. God damn it. I would, damn it. But which on one last note is something that I really like about shows. Like, there's a lot of shows I've watched that have grand ideas, and they're really good shows. Like, there's a vagueness to them though. Like Serial Experiments Lane. I've recently finished like Hibernate Renmei, Ergo Proxy. Like, there's shows like that have really grand and like existential ideas, but use a vagueness to not exactly explore them, but kind of stray away from them and let you create your own answer in a way. And while those are really interesting, they're not exactly fulfilling. If I'm truthful with myself, they're not exactly all the way fulfilling. There has been very little anime, and when I say very little, I mean like I can probably count on my hands less than 3 maybe that I have watched where there is a very grand, like, god tier philosophical thought process to it, and there's an answer, there's an end, like, and who's like, this show may not have an actual answer once again, but there are very few where I've watched and go, this might have an answer. Like, once again, I go back to Attack on Titan, where I started that show and it was starting to get into some very grand philosophical questions where I was like, oh, they're not gonna answer those. And it's starting to look like I was about to get answers. I was like, oh shit. And this is starting to shape up to be one of those shows where it's like, damn, that's a very grand philosophy that you have. Damn, I might actually get some answers. So yeah, this show is getting really fucking good. I am really enjoying this show. As you can see, I just talked about this shit for way too fucking long. Jesus fucking Christ. I even said, I was like, yeah, man, I'm not gonna really talk for a long time. I'm trying to cut this shit down. I did not. Been talking for like 45 minutes. So I'm just gonna stop talking because, like, damn, I don't want this video to be too damn long. And people like, I ain't watch all that. It's already to that point, but whatever. But yeah, the show is getting really interesting. I mean, the show has always been interesting, but it seems like every episode it gets more and more interesting and is drip feeding like information and thought processes and philosophy and mystery, like one by one, that just keeps me hooked. So I'm really enjoying this. Plus there's pretty good action in it, you know. But yeah, this shit's great. Can't wait to see the next episode. I was really hoping to watch another episode, but I talked so long, I don't know if I have time for another episode. I'm gonna try though. But yeah, this was great. This was amazing. And I'm guessing that the next episode is gonna get into more shit where I'm like, what the fuck is going on? This shit's great. This shit is great. So if you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, all the other stuff. If you're just a lurker, I appreciate you too. If you have any requests, whether it be more Fullmetal Alchemist, Brotherhood, or something totally different, the best place in that in is always my social media. Links are going to be in the description. And if you want these episodes early, you can subscribe to my Patreon. Links also in the description. So with all that out the way, get my off button ready. There we go. You all stay amazing, stay safe, and take care of yourselves. Damn, I need to make these shorter. I just do. I'm sorry.